So today we're just going to be doing a slightly more restorative practice because it's a Wednesday and it's like pump day. So just make everyone feel a bit nice, especially it'll be focused on like neck and shoulders and wrists. If you've been spending a lot of time maybe typing or at your computer, this should feel pretty nice, hopefully. So I'll meet you guys on the mat in an easy seat. If you have a cushion or a blanket to sit on or a block, whatever you have, it's nice to keep the hips up higher than the knees because we have a curve in our lower spine, and when we spend a lot of time sitting on chairs or driving in cars, sometimes that curve we tend to like slouch. If you sit on the floor with your hips up higher than your knees, so yeah, keep your hips up higher than your spine or your knees. Take an easy seat. If you want to, if your knees aren't reaching the ground and you want to prop any cushions or blocks under your knees, that if you're feeling any pain, no problem. I'm actually going to do it because I'm having a twinge in my left knee for some reason. So bring your palms onto your knees and gently allow your eyes to close down. And we'll just center ourselves here. Noticing your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, trying to match the length of the inhales with the exhales. Just start to pay attention to anywhere maybe you're feeling some tension in your body. Maybe your neck, your shoulders, or the low back. And just start to send your breath to those tension spots. Inhaling, exhaling. Think about your inhales filling your body up, and when you exhale, you're releasing that tension out of the body. So letting it go. Also trying to let go of any stress you might feel mentally, thinking about things you need to do or things you didn't get done. Just let those thoughts go. So flutter your eyes open and we'll do a quick pranayama technique that's supposed to relax the body and get rid of any tension. So similar to the one we did last Saturday, where your two index and point middle fingers folded in, your third and pinky finger pointing up and your thumb is out on your right hand. So usually in yoga, you always touch your body with your right hand because in Indian culture, your left hand is used for doing toilet things and bad things, and the left hand is not considered clean to touch with your body. So we'll do alternate nostril breathings called Nadi Shodhana, and it's meant to balance the energies in the right and left side of your body. So first you'll block the right nostril like we did last week, but this time in between each one we'll be alternating. So on the inhale, block the right nostril and breathe in through the left. Like 5 seconds. And then with your third ring finger, block the left nostril and exhale through the right for 5. Inhaling through the right. Block the right, unblock the left, exhaling through the left. We'll repeat that 4 more times. Inhale through the left. Blocking it and exhaling through the right. Inhale right. switch, exhale left. Inhaling left. Lock and exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Lock and exhale right. Inhale to the right. Lock, exhale left. The last breath, inhaling to the left. Lock, exhale right. Inhaling right. Lock and exhale left. So bring the hands back to your thighs. And we'll just roll out our neck. So on an inhale, roll your neck to the right hand side, looking up, and exhale, roll back down, looking down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. You might hear some cracks or feel some sticky bits that you want to stay in. If you feel like staying in a spot and working into it, you do that. Inhale up, exhale down. We'll take it to the other side. So inhale to the left and up, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Roll through any sticky spots if you want to work them out, do. Exhale down. Inhale back to center. And we'll just take some shoulder rolls. So inhale the shoulders up to the ears and back, squeezing the shoulder blades as tight together as you can at the back, and exhale down. So more like that. Inhale up, back as tight as you can, exhale down. Inhale it up, exhale back and down. One more, inhale up, exhale back and down. We'll take it the other direction, so back first to the shoulder blades, squeeze together, and up to the ears and back around. Inhaling up, exhale down. So come back to center, and on an inhale, take your right hand and bring it up to the outside of your left side of your head, and just kind of gently bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Get a nice stretch in your neck. You can look up or look down and kind of just play around with where you're feeling that in your neck. Breathing through. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the hand back down. We'll take it to the opposite side. So inhale, arms up to the outside right hand side of your head. And gently pull your head down towards your left shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Inhaling, exhaling. If you want to twist your neck a little, just looking up and down and left and right, just seeing where you need to work through that tension. So exhale, release the hand and come back to center. So inhale, reach your right arm out and imagine you're pressing into a wall. Your spine is straight, so your shoulders are over your hips. And we'll do a similar thing. So really flex the hand and try and imagine your fingers are pressing back towards your shoulder. Arm is straight, and then exhale, tilt your head back towards the left shoulder. And again, you can play with the movement and see where you feel this. If you're not really feeling anything, you can maybe press that arm towards the back behind you and see if that changes the sensation. Really getting into the nerves in your neck, which can get tight and affected if you're spending a lot of time on a laptop or a phone, or we're all hunched over devices all the time. And then bring your head back up to center, and we'll just take the hand point down towards the ground, and we'll do the same movement again, but noticing a slightly different sensation. You can take the arm a little to the back if you're not really feeling anything, and just inhaling up and down the neck. On an inhale, bring the head back up and bend the hand like it was the first way and take it in towards the shoulder. Elbows trying to reach up to the ceiling and back simultaneously. And we'll just bend over to the left side and try and kind of roll that shoulder up to the ceiling and back behind. Inhaling, exhaling, breathing through any tension. As you know, if something feels uncomfortable, sometimes when you just breathe through it, it's much easier to deal with. Inhale, we'll take it back up to the center, and we'll do that on the left arm side. So press out the left hand. Fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling. Imagine you're pressing something away. Arm is straight. And tilt the head to the right, towards the right shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling. If you're not really getting anything, you can try taking that arm more behind you, or play with the position of your neck. Breathing into it. Again, we'll turn the fingers down. So the same as if you're pressing with the back of your hand into something, arm is straight. And again, inhaling the neck to the right side, playing with the feelings. You can try pressing the arm more behind you and see how that changes it. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, bring the hand back up and turn it in so your fingers are pointing down into your shoulder. Take the right hand over to the right side, elbow up to the ceiling, and play with opening the shoulder up and back behind you. Breathing. Feel a nice stretch in your shoulders. Inhale, come back up to center. And if you're sitting on something, you can remove it from out behind you. Remove anything that was on your mat. We'll come onto a tabletop position. So our shoulders are over our wrists, knees are under the hips. And we'll just take some cat-cow movements to warm up the spine. So on an inhale, drop the belly, reach the tailbone towards the ceiling, shine the heart through the chest, and look up at the ceiling. And on an exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, round the shoulders and round the upper back, pressing the mat away, cat pose. Couple more like that. Inhale it, belly drops, chest lifts, head is up, tailbone is up. cow pose. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, protract the shoulders, press into the mat. Cat pose. You can take a few more on your own inhales and exhales. Inhaling, belly drops, looking up. And exhaling, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone, round the upper back. Inhaling, cow pose, and exhaling, cat pose. So in our cat pose, you can kind of wag your cat tail. So swish your hips to the left and to the right. That should feel quite nice in the middle back. But keep your rounding of your upper back while you're doing it. Inhaling, exhaling. Take it back to a neutral spine, so our spine is straight. And tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back, and come up for our first downward facing dog. So our hands are shoulder width distance, index fingers pointing forward to keep it more open in your shoulders. Fingertips ground into the mat. Index knuckle grounds down. Forearms are firmed in. Shoulder blades are open and wide. Ribs and navel are drawn in to create some engagement in your core. Outer hips are up and back. And if you need to bend your knees to get the hips up and back, please do that. Just imagining grounding into the heels someday. Feet are hips width distance. Breathing here, inhaling, and exhaling. You can take your dog for a little walk, so bend into the right leg and straighten the left foot so the heel comes to the ground. Inhale, exhale. You should feel that stretch in the back of the left calf. Inhale, we'll switch. So bend into the left, knee, right leg is straight. Inhaling here. Exhaling, stretching out the right calf. Inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet. Start to walk your feet towards your hands for a forward fold. So in your forward fold, your hips are over your ankles. Your knees can be bent as much as you need, and the weight is in your toes. Your spine is trying to reach down to the mat. So imagine the crown of your head going down to the mat. As you breathe space in between each vertebrae. Bring your opposite hands on opposite elbows, bending the arms at the elbows and grabbing each elbow and just swing from side to side a little. Head is heavy, releasing any tension in the neck. You can nod your head yes and shake it no, just doing a quick neck check. Inhale deeply here, and exhale, side out the mouth. Do that once more. Inhale, and we exhale, just drop the arms. Inhale, exhale, dropping any control over the head. And on an inhale, tuck your chin and keep a little bend in your knees. Ground into the feet and slowly roll up vertebra per vertebra until you're standing, keeping your chin tucked and it being the last thing to stand up. So from here, we'll do one sun salutation A and one sun salutation B. So standing in our mountain pose, your feet can be hips width distance if you're tight in your hamstrings, or if not, your toes can touch with a little space between your ankles. Ground into all four corners of the feet. Lift the kneecaps to engage the quads. Tailbone is tucked. Ribs and navel draw in. Shoulders are pressing back, so collarbones are broad. Looking forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, looking up at your hands. Exhale, hinge at the hips, falling forward, weight in the toes, forward fold. Look at your navel. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can be on the ground or on your shins. Knees can be bent, looking forward, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands next to your feet. Step the feet back for a high plank. So in our high plank, shoulders are over wrists. Balls of the feet are over the toes. Strong feet. Tailbone is tucked, so I have a tendency to stick my bum out all the time. So I always need to remind myself to tuck it in under, as if your pelvis is trying to reach for your ribs. Inhale here and exhale, lower the knees, untuck the toes, bend the elbows till your chest and chin come to the mat. Inhale, slide forward, hands are under the shoulders, strong feet into the mat, pinky toes ground down, pelvis is grounding into the mat. And on an inhale, lift the chest, broaden the collarbones, look forward, cobra pose. Exhale, lower it down. Come back to our tabletop, pressing into the hands, onto the knees. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take any movements you want here in your downward dog. Inhaling and exhaling. A good time to take some cleansing breaths if you need to reset. So you can inhale through the nose and exhale, side at the mat. On an inhale, come to your balls of your feet, tippy toes, and bend your knees and look forward. And slowly step forward, taking it up for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, sweep the arms back up, standing up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands back to heart center. That's one sun salutation A. Now I'll do one sun salutation B, just slowly warming up the body. So on an inhale, bend the knees and sweep the arms up for your chair pose, Utkatasana. So again, your feet can be hips width distance or big toes can touch. Arms can be out like a Y if you're tight in your shoulders, or just straight up overhead, or palms can meet if you're not tight. Tailbone is tucked, shins are straight. If you look down, you should see your toes. Weight is in the heels. Ribs and navel draw in. Inhale here, and exhale, hinge at the hips, fold over. Knees can be bent if you need here for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, look forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to a high plank. You can take the knees, chest, chin option, or you can take a chaturanga if you'd like to challenge yourself a little. So inhale, shift the shoulders over the fingertips, and exhale, bend the knee, elbows 90 degrees, looking forward. Inhale, roll over the toes, upward facing dog, broaden the collarbones, knees are up off the mat, strong feet, micro bend in the elbows. You can look forward or up. Look forward if you have any pain in your neck. Exhale, Roll over the toe, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So in our sun B, it's an extra bit of work added on. So pivot the left foot 45 degrees and inhale, reach the right foot up and back and bring it forward to place the right hand. Sweeping the arms up for warrior one, 90-degree bend in the front knee. Strong front foot. Our feet are on opposite sides of the mat, so like we're on train tracks. The back foot is bent, is 45 degrees towards the front of the mat. Arms are up. Looking up. Inhaling here. Exhale, bring the hands back down to frame the foot. Step it back for your vinyasa. So knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga up dog. Inhaling up. And exhale. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So we'll repeat that on the left. The left foot goes up and back. The left hand goes to replace left hand, left foot. Back foot is 45 degrees angle. Arms sweep up. 90-degree bend in the front knee. Ribs and navel draw in, looking up. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana A. Inhale here. Exhale, plant the hands to frame the front foot. Step it back. Take your vinyasa. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhaling here, sighing out the mouth. Palms press into the mat, fingertips grip the mat. Lengthen the side body, ribs and navel drawing in. Shoulder blades are wide. On an inhale, we'll take it down onto our knees and we'll just take a quick child's pose to let everything settle. This is a restorative class, so those sun salutations are quite, especially the sun bees, take it out of you. So if you want more stretch in your lower back, you can keep your knees wide and toes touch. Palms come out in front of you and forehead comes to the mat. If you want a bit more support, you can keep the knees together so that they support under your torso and bring the hands back behind you as the forehead comes to the mat. Inhaling here and exhaling. Allowing any tension in the body to just go. And each inhale, filling up the body. And exhaling, letting everything go. On an inhale, sweep the hands back out towards the front of the mat if they're not already at the front. And we'll tuck the toes, we'll take it up for a down dog, quickly coming down onto our forearms for that dolphin pose we practiced on Saturday. Everyone's favorite. So this pose is really good for building strength and in your shoulders, but also for stretching out the shoulders, which can be tight after spending time on a computer all day. So if you need to bend your knees, do so. So your forearms are planted, shoulder width distance. Hands are gripping the mat, fingertips grip the mat, index knuckle grounds down. Inner wrists are grounding down. Making sure your elbows are under your shoulders. So they have kind of a tendency to try to want to splay out in our dolphin like this, but you want to try and keep them under the shoulders. If that means you kind of have to put your elbows a bit further in initially to allow for that bit of flesh to move out, then play around with that. Some people find it good to keep their thumbs pressing like that. Helps them to ground into the pose more. Or some people also like to use a block to kind of gauge the space. So just find something that works for you. Some people also like to bring the hands in prayer in the middle between the two elbows. I like to try the putting the elbows closer together so that then when my flesh of my forearm slides, that they're where they should be. So in our dolphin pose, shoulders are over the elbows, but we have a down dog shape with the rest of our body. Inhale in here, feeling it in the shoulders. Knees can be bent or legs can be straight. So on an inhale, lift the left elbow up and then the right to our down dog. And then exhale, bring the left elbow back down and then the right. Kind of some weird dolphin press ups. Repeat that. Inhale, left elbow up, then the right. Exhale, left elbow down, then the right. Inhale, left comes up, right. Exhale, dropping it back down. Now we'll switch sides. Inhale, right elbow comes up, then left. Exhale, left elbow down, then right. Inhale, right up, then left. Exhale, right down, then left. One more like that. Inhale, right elbow up, then left. Exhale, right elbow down, then left. On an inhale, lift both elbows up back to our downward facing dog. You might have to readjust your hands. And maybe just take a quick minute to press the heart towards the thighs, stretching out the shoulders even more. On an inhale, lift the right foot back up and behind you. And exhale, bring it through knee to nose. And then place the right foot down between your hands. So stay up on kind of the knife edge of your right foot. So the pinky side edge is up. Almost as if you're going to drop your knee to the right side. And try and drop the hips forward for a kind of active pigeon pose. So like the pigeon we do on the ground, except you're up. You can tent up on your fingers. If this is a lot, you can use a block or a chair or a table or something to give you a bit more elevation. Breathing into the hips. If you might feel nice to bounce up and down a bit, or rock back and forwards. Your choice. On an inhale, plant the right foot down into the mat so the big toe is grounded. And on an exhale, bend the back knee and bring it behind the right foot. So the left foot crosses behind the right foot. And we're in a forward fold. If you need to bend your knees here, please do. Yeah, if you need to elevate yourself with a block or a table, go for it. And we'll inhale here to halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, falling forward with our legs crossed. Ground into the inner sides of each foot as much as you can. It's hard when the calves are crossed, but this should give you a nice stretch in the right side of your leg, right side of the right leg. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. If your balance is with you, take your arms behind you to your lower back and interlace the fingers. Heels of the hands are touching. If that's not available to you, you can use a strap or your belt or whatever you have handy to make the space accessible. Inhale to lengthen and exhale, folding forward, bringing the arms up and over your head towards the ground in front of you. Inhale here, exhale. It's quite hard to hold the balance, so you really need to ground into your big toes. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, release the hands and bring them back down to the mat. And on an exhale, come up onto the knife edges of your 2 feet and bend into your knees. So like the chair pose we took in our sun B, a similar position, but you're balanced on the sides of your feet and your bum is crouching down to the mat. It's quite hard to keep the balance here. So if you need to keep the hands on the floor or on a block, do so. If your balance is with you, inhale, sweep the arms out in front of you, biceps by the ears. Inhale deeply. Exhale, go as deep down into the stretch as you can without losing your balance. Inhale, exhale. On an inhale, plant the left foot back onto the mat. And if you need to reset, you can just come to stand up. Or if you can do it in one swift movement, bring your right foot flexed and cross it across your left knee. Bending into your left foot, taking that same kind of chair position with your lower body. And if your balance is with you with this, bring your right hand under your left arm and cross it around for eagle arms. If you can't twist your arms that way, just cross your arms and give yourself a hug. Inhaling here, exhaling. Inhale if your arms are in the eagle. Lift your elbows so they're in front of your face. Lift your chest and exhale, fold down deeper. Feeling that stretch in the left glute. Breathe into it. On an inhale, stand up on one leg. If you need to drop the right foot down, do. And then sweep it back for a crescent lunge. Left foot is forward. We're up on the ball of the back right foot. Strong back leg, 90-degree bend in the front knee. Our eagle arms. Inhale to raise the arms up. And exhale for a deeper stretch in the shoulder. Twist towards the right. Inhaling, exhaling. So your right hand is pulling as your left shoulder also pulls, kind of opposite to each other to get a deeper stretch in both sides. Inhale, release the arms and sweep them out up overhead for a high crescent lunge. And exhale, plant the hands on the mat, framing the front left foot. Step it back to high plank, taking your option of your vinyasa. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply here and sigh it out the mouth. Inhale, exhale, letting go of any tension or any judgment on yourself. Inhale, exhale, we'll repeat that on the left. So inhale, sweep the left foot up and back. Exhale, bringing in knee to nose. Drop the foot down between the hands on the knife edge of your foot for our active pigeon. Strong back leg, ball of the foot is over the toes. Inhale here, exhale, deepen down. Knee drops out to the left. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, look down. You can pulse here if it makes it feel better. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, plant your left foot back down so your big toes grounded into the mat. And exhale, bring your right foot in behind your left foot, crossed over. So your right knee is snuggled in behind your left knee. Ground into the big toes. Inhale up for halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Knees can be bent if you need. Inhale here. Exhale. On an inhale, sweep your arms up and interlace the fingers and your palms come to touch at your lower back. Inhale here. Exhale, fold and release the arms out over your head. Feeling that stretch in your shoulders. Grounding into the big toes to keep your balance. Inhale here and exhale, release the grip of your hands. Bring them back to the mat. Come back onto the knife edge of your feet. Bending the knees down for our weird chair squat position. If you have your balance, take the arms up and out to the front. Biceps by the ears, inhale here. And exhale, deepen. Breathe through it. This is really good for building strength in your ankles and your outer hips. Inhale here, exhale, plant the hands, plant the left foot down so the big toe is grounded into the mat. We'll come up so your right foot is flexed. If you can keep the balance, cross it over the left knee and bend down. Left hand comes under left arm for our Gomukhasana arms or eagle arms. Or just giving yourself a hug. Inhale, lift the elbows so they're in front of your face. Chest is lifted. Exhale, lower down. Feel the stretch in your right glute and right outer hip. And on an inhale, sweep the left leg back behind you for a high crescent lunge, keeping the eagle arms. Strong back leg. Ball of the foot is under the heel. 90-degree bend in the front knee. Ground into the big toe on the front foot. Inhale, lift the arms, look up. Exhale, release the arms, sweep them up. Looking up and exhale. Plant the hands in front of the foot. Step it back to a high plank. Taking your vinyasa. Or if you're toast, skip it and go straight into your down dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Inhale, exhale, slide out the mouth. So walk your hands back towards your feet. We'll take another quick ragdoll stretch. So our weight is in our toes, sit bones over the heels. Inhaling here, exhale, grab opposite elbows, let the head hang. If you want, you can swing from side to side. Just noticing if you feel more open in your hamstrings and your hips compared to the first time we did this. On an inhale, take it back out to your downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your right foot up, and exhale, bring it through so your right knee meets your right wrist. Your right foot is flexed or pointed, trying to get it parallel with the front of the mat. So if you're more open in your hips, you can get maybe like that. If you're less open, keep the foot back closer to your left hip. So this is our pigeon pose. Inhaling up straight, making sure the right foot is, the back foot is straight behind you, it's not bent in or out, or the heel isn't, the ankle isn't twisted, very straight. Tuck the back toes and lift the knee just to get a deeper stretch on that thigh. Inhale up and exhale. Bring it down to the forearms. If you can, take it down all the way. If your right hip is hovering off the mat and you feel maybe you need some extra support under it, you can tuck a blanket or a cushion in just to make it a bit more comfy. Inhaling here, exhale, let go. So the hips are grounded into the mat. And this is a deep hip opener, releases a lot of tension, a lot of built up emotions from your body. Also, if we spend a lot of time sitting on chairs, can put pressure on our sciatic nerve. So this pose stretches out the piriformis muscle, which then loosens the sciatic nerve. So it's a really good one if you spend a lot of time sitting. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, if your right hand is out in front of you, try bringing the left hand under the left armpit, the right armpit, to stretch out your left shoulder at the same time as stretching your right hip. Keep your gaze forward or your chin on the mat if you can. Don't look under your right arm, so you'll get a stronger stretch. Quite intense because our shoulders and our hips are the biggest joints in our body, the biggest muscle systems around them, so you're stretching two in one time. Breathe through it. Inhaling, exhaling, letting go. On an inhale, bring your right arm back in and press into it to release your left hand back under your shoulders. And come up so your upper body is straight up. If you want to, lift the back leg up and reach, catch hold of it and pull it in to your glute. Stretching out the left quad. So it doesn't matter if you're here or wherever, as long as you can feel it, you're still getting the same feeling, the same stretch. Inhale, exhale. If you can, try and square your shoulders off so you're pointing to the front of your mat. Makes it harder, but it also makes it kind of more juicy. Inhale here, exhale, release. We'll swing it around so your back left leg comes across and stacks on top of your right knee. I'll just switch around so you can see here. For our Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. I don't know how that got its name, but I think your knees looks like maybe a cow's nose or something. I don't know. So if you need to, you can lean forward onto your right knee to kind of make sure that your sit bones ground down into the mat. If you need to sit up on a cushion or a block to elevate the hips, makes it easier. If you're tighter in your hips, your feet will be closer back in beside you. If you're more open, you'll be able to shimmy them out further. But this is a really strong hip opener, so don't worry if it feels intense. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forward. If you need to be just here, which is an easy seat, like your legs are crossed like that, and fold forward, you'll get a similar stretch. Inhale, exhale. If you want to play with the cow face arms while in the cow face pose, bring your left arm up, reach it up, bend at the elbow, and then bring your right arm up behind you and bend at the elbow, and try to connect the hands. So if you can't, I'll just show you from the back. And then you're pulling them apart so your elbows are pressing back. Lift up the chest. If you need to use a strap or your belt or whatever you have handy, you can lift it up in the left hand and let it drop down so you can reach it with your right hand and just work towards opening your shoulders. So one day you can slide your hand further and further in, eventually meeting. Exhale, release the arms. Release the legs. You might want to shake them out in front of you. And we'll switch it around for the opposite side. So our left leg is in front this time for our pigeon. Making sure the knee is outside the left hip. Left foot is pointed or flexed or flighted, your choice. Back foot is straight behind you. Ankle is straight. Tuck the toes and get a deeper stretch on that back leg. Inhale it up. Exhale, fold forward. If you're up here, it's fine. If you're here, you're still getting the same stretch in your body. So you just do what feels good for you. Especially in a more restorative style class, maybe go at like 80% of your flexibility because you're going to get more restorative benefits. Inhaling. Exhaling. So imagine when you breathe in, you're sending the breath to the pain, not the pain, but the tension you're feeling in the stretch. There should never be pain, only mild discomfort. If you ever feel any pain, your body is telling you to back off or lean out of the pose. Inhale. Exhale. So again, this pose is great if you spend a lot of time sitting. Sitting is the new smoking, as they're saying. So take the right arm out in front and the left hand goes under the right armpit. Shoulders are squared towards the front, looking forward. Oh, my apologies, sorry, switch that. The left arm is out in front. The right hand is out to the left side. So we're twisting and stretching the right shoulder and the left hip at the same time. Inhale. Exhale. Looking forward. Inhale, bring the left hand back under your left shoulder and slide the right arm back under, coming up so your body is more upright. If you need to, shimmy the left foot closer into your right hip. If you want to reach for the back foot, bend at the knee, grab the back foot if you can. If you need to use your strap or your belt or whatever you have handy, you can also use that to take hold of the back foot. If you want to maybe play with going deeper towards the king pigeon, and you have a strap, you can work towards someday pulling that foot back in so it reaches the back of your head and your fingertips grip your toes. But this is how you get there eventually, by stretching your body. Spending 30 seconds in any stretch tricks your parasympathetic system into thinking it's safe, so your body eventually will stretch more and more over time. So they say anyway. So on an inhale, lean onto your left hip and swing the right knee around for a cow pose on the other side. If you tighten your hips, you can just take an easy seat. Inhaling up, straight spine, exhaling forward. If you want to just sit up, working on the hips, that's fine. Sit bones should ground into the mat. Walking the hands further out in front of you. Inhale, exhale. If you want to play with the cow face arms, the right arm comes up and reaches up, the left arm goes behind. Interlace the fingers and clasp whatever you can grab a hold of, or use your strap. Inhaling, lifting the chest, elbows are pressing back. And exhale, fold over the knees. This is also a very strong sensation in your hips. Breathe into it. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, release the arms. Might want to maybe give them a little shake if they're feeling tight. And from here, take the legs out wide for a wide-legged forward fold. Here, actually, again, it's nice to keep your hips up higher because it's quite hard for us to fold forward in this position if you can't tilt your pelvis back. It makes it easier by being elevated. So open your legs out as wide as you can. Toes are pointing up, feet are flexed. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, reaching forward as far as you can go. And on an inhale, lengthen, and on an exhale, maybe you can go a little further. Using your breath to help. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, we'll take our left hand and plant it on the inside of the left knee. If you can, bring your elbow down and press in to your left upper thigh. Just see how that feels, and inhale, reach the right arm up and try to stretch towards your left toes. So if you're very flexible, you might just be able to grab like that, but it's not really the idea. The idea is keeping the length in both sides of your body, pushing in with your left elbow, and then stretching. So if you're not reaching your toes, it doesn't matter. You're still getting the stretch. Inhaling here. Exhale to deepen. Long, straight side body stretch. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, take it over to the other side. So right hand inside the right knee. If you're just here, that's fine. If you want to use a block to make it higher up, you can do that too. Inhale here. Exhale, stretch. Keeping the length in the left side body and also in the right side body. Inhale, open the chest and look up to the ceiling. Inhale. Breathe into it. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, release and come back up to the center. Might want to bounce your legs back together. Feel good. Deep stretch on your inner thighs. So if you have any props behind you, move them out of the way. And from here, we'll roll down onto our backs, taking our Supta Baddha Konasana, so your soles of your feet come to touch, and the knees drop out to the sides. If this is uncomfortable on your knees at all, or your inner thighs or hips, you can use blocks under the sides of your knees to give you some support, or cushions, whatever you have. If it's okay and you feel like you want a little more, you can put your palms on your inner thighs so that they kind of weigh your knees down, letting gravity help. Inhaling here, exhaling. So this is a really good pose to let our spine go back to neutral. So in this pose, you have the curve in your cervical spine or your neck, and also curve in your lumbar spine. So it's the natural way for our spine to be. Breathing into it. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale deeply, filling up your belly, and then your chest, and then your collarbones. Really fill everything up and hold it for a few seconds. And then exhale, release it the way you brought it in. So the collarbones first, then the chest, then the lower belly. Two more like that. Lower belly, chest, upper chest. Hold it. And exhale, upper chest, middle chest, lower belly last. And again, inhaling, belly, middle chest, upper chest, and hold for a few seconds. And exhaling, upper chest, middle chest, lower belly. Bring your palms out by your sides, facing up. And if you want to keep your knees like this for Savasana, you can. If you want to take the traditional posture of your legs out straight at each corner of your mat. It might feel nice for some people, for more restorative, to use your blanket or cushions under your knees. Inhaling here. Exhale, sigh it all out, let it go. Take any little movements you need to take so you can fully relax. Get comfortable. Knowing that your mat is doing all the work, the ground is supporting you. Letting go of any tension in any part of your body. Letting go of any control over the breath. Closing the eyes. Release the area in between your eyebrows, the tension there. Release any tension in the jaw or neck. The tongue drops away from the roof of the mouth. The lips are slightly parted. Feel gravity pull your cheeks towards your mat. Shoulder heads sinking into the mat. Upper chest and upper back. Right arm and left arm. Release. Release any tension in the hips. glutes, quads, knees, shins, ankles and toes. Completely relax. Slowly bring your awareness back to your breath. Make some small movements with your fingers and toes, working up to the wrists and ankles. Bring your big toes to touch. Bring your arms up overhead, hooking your thumbs. Take one big morning stretch, inhale it up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, roll onto your right side, hug your knees into your chest, and make a little pillow with your right arm. Slowly prepare to come back from our practice. Inhale, press into your left hand and come up to your easy seat, keeping the eyes closed. Hands can be on the knees or at heart center in prayer. And take some time to notice how you feel now. Maybe release some tension from your body. You feel nice and relaxed. Maybe you let go of some stresses of the day. Take a minute to thank yourself for showing up for you, taking the time for self-care. And have gratitude for your body and all the things it can do for you. Inhale, invite the eyes to open. Bring the hands up to the space between your eyes. Exhale, fold over. Now bring it back up, back to center. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice. Namaste.